You're listening to the Law Enforcement Pirate Radio Network. Radio Free Larry presiding.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Radio Free Larry.
All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, it's on, it's on. We're here. They're hearing us. Us. All right, keep walking with me, spirits. We'll get somewhere. Now, there is no promised land on this planet, but we'll find something, I promise you. I'll deal with it. Good morning, Lenexa. All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Rough roads ahead. Is that a hawk? Or is that a vulture? Here in the next, it's probably a vulture. Trying to take over this area, that's for sure. They're not protectors. They're actually moving around preparing dossiers, and they'll tell you, well, we're Republicans, this, that. Trump was a Republican, right? He came in and strengthened the party, right? Rode on the coattails of approximately, I wouldn't say 10 years, about 6 years of my work. 6 to 7 years of my work. And they destroyed it. Well, I am concerned about the number of people that are smoking. They raised the price of cigarettes. I think it dropped things off for a while, but it appears people are picking up smoking, which is double concern because it's very expensive, even more so than it ever was. And then, whatever that discouragement, that reasoning that cigarettes aren't worth it is pretty much disappearing. I believe the deterrence is disappearing, which is not really a good thing. Again, witch count in there, so they're being spelled. It's part of the spell. So again, here's another example. So if you're transgender, it's the same as smoking cigarettes. It really is. That's the whole planet. If I'm driving a Lamborghini, part of the same thing. Everything, that's how it all works. But it doesn't work because it's been skewed. Otherwise, everybody would be driving Lamborghinis. Would you be trans? Well, I don't know. Where's your priorities? Lamborghini or not being trans? And again, trans people, they can't see it. Like, what are you talking about? I don't understand this. It's just great life. There's people like me that help people that are trans and others that are actually discriminated against to have a better life. People that are standing out there and taking the glory for it, most of them are discriminatory people. They can't free you. They're just pro-trans or pro-LGBTQ. They can't free you because they discriminate against other people. So that's why you'll see me shift around, because there's a true downtrodden person. Metaphysics is where it is, the spiritual. So those people will receive help when they start dropping below a certain point, usually, unless again they're causing everybody else to fall. That's a cool looking little vehicle, or big vehicle. Well, it's just neat when you buy like a 4Runner or something like that, and the lift kits aren't cheap, so it isn't like it's a, the tires aren't as expensive and wheels, because you buy a big Chevy or Ford, full size, it takes a lot to lift it to look good, but this is I guess it's a 4Runner, like an older one, I think. All right. Well, it's got some nice mud tires on it. They detailed the undercarriage. But it's not cheap. I don't know, that's an old one. It may not be as expensive to lift. They're usually expensive to lift. the smaller ones, because there's so much more to the lift kit. Right. But usually those type of vehicles, if you lift them, they look great. We used to have one, I spoke about it before, in the Marshal Service. It was a seized, it's either a 4Runner or the other one. I can't remember what the other name is. And it had big, like not huge tires on it, but a little bit bigger tires. And like the top speed on it was like 65 miles an hour. So like if you were in that vehicle, it was actually one of the back before the task forces were huge, where they were small Marshal Service instead of regional, local task force. Even though they worked on regional stuff, they call it, they're just a local task force. A couple city cops and maybe a sheriff's deputy or something like that or a state. I think we had a state, a city, and a county, I think, on our task force, and actually a couple cities, right? And so the one guy, he's actually a big bail bonds guy now. I think he owns his own business. So his wife and my wife were friends because the kids, I guess, were similar ages, right? But they ruined everything. So when he had this vehicle, and he turned like I guess we had the lights that were I don't think they were visor lights. I think we had I think we had the visor lights in that one. I can't remember you had the lights. You had the regular lights, I think, that would blink while it was going, and then you had like some lights up front and some in the back. I can't remember exactly. Or no, did he have the one where he put it on the roof? He may have had the one where you put it on the roof. I can't remember. I think he stuck his hand out and put it on the roof. Magnetic or something. But he turned all that emergency equipment on, and you'd be on the highway going to a fugitive turned up somewhere, and somebody called it in, and he would he'd be going about like 65 miles an hour tops, and that was pushing it, and like everybody's passing you, and we're like, I don't think that's necessary. We on the Beltway in Baltimore. People passing us. It's like that ambulance that you're waiting to get up to you to ask you, and it never gets closer, but it's running code all behind you. We had a bunch of freakish vehicles like that, so couldn't remember how that one was wired. So we went over to pick up one of our vehicles. Actually, one of the was a Crown Vic. I remember it was a Crown Vic or a Caprice or something. We went over to go to pick it up at the place that wires our stuff. It's just off the boulevard where all the prostitutes are. I didn't know that till this day that we went in there, and there's like these prostitutes walking up and down. And I'm looking, this doesn't look right. That's a detective, isn't it? She looked too healthy. So I think when we were coming out, they were like, breaking down the sting operation. They pulled everybody in, and we're doing it wasn't like out on the main road. It was over it's like an industrial park or something. But they used to wire our vehicles. I'm not at liberty to say who they are. We had some Frankensteins. But now, back then, it was a lot of one-off stuff. You could order some stuff, but now, everything's, fine-tuned and detailed. You order packages and you just put them in. Right. Especially when you're dealing with these seized vehicles and trying to turn them into popo vehicles. Right. Yeah, we were pretty much on the cheap. Before I got there, They said that chief was so cheap that they were riding on like almost bald tires. You go around a turn and be like, ee! They said it was because the chief would get a kickback. It's actually a kickback. Would get a bonus if they saved a certain amount of money in those kind of programs. So he wouldn't buy tires. Needless to say, when he left, they were clapping and cheering. When I left, they were all probably freaked out. Probably silence for like a month. They run into the locker room. What do you do, Larry? What do you do, Larry? You have to understand though too. It's like, what was it like? I don't even know how long after John was killed. Probably like about 6 months or something like that. Right? They were trying to kill me, man. Hell with them. Same with these pieces of shit that are here. Whatever they think they're doing. Try to play, well, I'm ignorant. They don't tell us anything. You know what's going on. You see the death and the rapes. They just don't want to believe that they caused them. Oh, no, we don't cause them. No. So I told the front desk here that vehicle exists. I don't know if they're going to do anything, but someone needs to get out. It's nasty inside. I remember it was like a white couple, like 25 to 30, dark hair. He had dark hair. I can't remember what she had. She may have had like a brownish dark hair. I don't know. He had like a black hair, I think. Because I was out walking and they pulled in front of me and got out of the vehicle and then got back in the vehicle. But it looks like somebody was living out of it, and it may not even have been them. It may have just been sitting over here where homeless people, oh, this car is open. Sometime when it was cold. Right. Because I don't think I've seen, when it moved the last time I saw it, I think it was like that time, and that was probably when it was still cool out. Right. And it's got wrappers with, with food stuck to it. Paper plates, cups. It looks like it might actually have a leak too, and it's like, probably moldy inside. Right. I mean, outside, although it is starting to get it flat. I didn't see that last night. Right. You can see the dirt around the tires. It hasn't moved, and like sticks and debris. There's a bunch of junk in it. That's nasty. What is that? Oh, it's gross in there. It's a fire hazard. Maybe the fire department can go get rid of it. Next, the fire department's here. Hey, can you would they condemn that thing? Bring in the biohazard people. That'll be crushed, probably. I just got to get out of here. Right. I don't think it's anybody's here. There's a couple up there that might know, but I haven't seen them in a couple days. Right. They may be on vacation or something. They kind of know what's going on around here. 100%. That's that 90th degree Mason woman and her husband or boyfriend. I think it's her husband. This is their territory over here. This is their zone. They're responsible for this zone. Sorry. Hey, what up? Hey, that vehicle. I'm gonna shut this off real quick.